The Young and the Restless, spoilers, Friday's full, the 5th of June, 2026. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is Thursday, and man, it is a rainy, gloomy day out there, but the drama in Genoa City is bringing all the heat we need to stay warm. We have a lot to unpack today from the latest episode, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's just dive right into this absolute mess of a storyline. So, Victor Newman, let's talk about Victor Newman for a second because I am honestly losing my mind over here. Victor believes he has finally regained control, and when he's on a wave like that, there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, the mustache loves to do more than gloat to his enemies. He is just strutting around like he owns the entire universe, not just Genoa City. And it is so frustrating to watch, but also exactly what we expect from him. He has this smug look on his face, that classic Victor smirk that just makes you want to throw something at your television screen. He is just so arrogant. And he thinks he has completely won. And how did he do it? By playing the dirtiest game possible. A few episodes ago, we saw him literally buy out all the staff at Summers Conglomerate, all of them, just poof, gone. And then he uses this crazy AI program to frame Phyllis like, since when is Victor a mastermind hacker? It is so wild. But the writers just love giving him these godlike powers where he can crush anyone with the snap of his fingers. So now he is gloating. He is rubbing it in everyone's faces. And he is forcing Michael Baldwin to choose between him and Lauren's boss, which is just cruel. Michael has been loyal to Victor for years, decades even, and Victor just uses him like a pawn. It makes me so mad. Sometimes I think maybe I'm being too harsh on Victor. Maybe he's just protecting his family legacy. Okay, no, that sounded dramatic, but you get what I mean. He just takes it too far every single time. He never just wins. He has to humiliate you. But let's shift gears to Phyllis because my heart is actually breaking for her right now. So Phyllis is begging. Yes, you heard me right. Phyllis Summers is begging Michael Baldwin to help clear her name. And seeing Phyllis in this position is just, it's jarring. It feels wrong. She is usually the one with the fiery comebacks and the master plans, but right now she is just completely backed into a corner. At the close of the Wednesday episode, she had this huge epiphany while she was talking to Michael. She is just tired. She is so tired of all the revenge tactics from the Newman family. And honestly, who wouldn't be? The Newmans are like a steamroller. Once they set their sights on you, they do not stop until you are flat on the ground. And Phyllis has been fighting them for what feels like her entire life. It is just an endless cycle of toxicity. And the absolute worst part of all of this, Nick Newman, let's talk about Nick for a minute, because I am so disgusted with him. Nick threatened that he would send Phyllis to prison. He actually threatened her with prison time, even though she saved his life. What were they thinking? Who actually believes this is going to end well for anyone? Nick has always played this good guy role, this moral compass of the Newman family, but he is just as ruthless as his father when he wants to be. He promised Phyllis that if she gave the company back, he would get Christine Romolati to drop the charges. But how is that fair? She saved him. And now he is holding her freedom over her head like a bargaining chip. It is so messed up. It really makes you look at Nick differently. I used to root for him, I really did. But lately, I don't know. The fans on social media are completely divided on this. Half of them are cheering for the Newmans to get their company back, and the other half are just screaming about how unfairly Phyllis is being treated. So the big question now is, will she wave a white flag? Will Phyllis actually give Victor his legacy back? Sometimes peace means far more than money, right? That is what people say. But this is Phyllis. Red doesn't just surrender, but maybe she has to. Maybe she realizes that fighting Victor and Nick and Victoria and the whole damn Newman machine is just going to destroy whatever is left of her sanity. She is begging her bestie, Michael, to clear her name, so maybe she doesn't hand Newman back right away. Maybe she thinks Michael can find a loophole, but Michael is terrified of Victor right now. Victor warned him not to get Lauren involved. So Michael is paralyzed, and Phyllis is just standing there watching her entire empire crumble into dust. It is honestly tragic. You build something up for so long, and then one angry billionaire decides he wants it back, and boom, it's gone. And we have to talk about Christine Romolani, because Nick promised to get her to drop the charges, but Christine hates Phyllis. She has hated Phyllis since the dawn of time. So is Christine really going to just let it go because Nick Newman asks her to? I doubt it. Christine has been threatening Phyllis, practically foaming at the mouth to lock her up. And is this even just about the corporate stuff? Is this about something else entirely? Will Christine grill Phyllis about holding Matt Clark hostage and withholding a criminal? Because that whole Matt Clark situation is a massive, massive mess. Matt Clark is out there right now causing absolute chaos in Vegas, trapping Nick and Sharon and Noah in an abandoned gas station. So if Phyllis knew something, or if she was involved in holding him hostage previously, Christine is going to use that to bury her. The layers to this storyline are just insane. It is so clunky in places, like the writers are just throwing every past rivalry into a blender, but I can't look away. And speaking of Matt Clark, let's just zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture. Nick is currently tied up and drugged in a garage by Matt Clark. He is hitting absolute rock bottom. So him threatening Phyllis with prison feels even more wild when you realize his own life is completely falling apart. Adam is out there making cold, strategic moves, basically playing God with Nick's life just to keep him breathing. So Nick is making these deals with Phyllis, acting like he is in control, but he is literally a plaything for a psychopath right now. It is such a stark contrast. The arrogance of the Newmans in the boardroom versus the absolute helpless vulnerability of Nick in that gas station. It is brilliant, honestly, but it is also so messy. Like, how does Nick even have the bandwidth to threaten Phyllis when his own family is fighting for survival? It just shows how deep the Newman obsession with control really goes. They cannot let anything go. Even when they are literally dying, they are plotting. But okay, let's pull ourselves back on track here because there is another massive storyline we need to talk about. The Young and the Restless spoilers for June 4 indicate that Victoria will continue to worry about her mom. And honestly, Victoria has every right to be panicking right now. Nikki Newman has been complaining about headaches lately, really bad headaches. But of course, because this is a soap opera, she refuses to go to a doctor to get checked out. Why? Why do these characters never go to the doctor when something is obviously wrong? It drives me absolutely crazy. Nikki believes this is just an MS symptom. She has multiple sclerosis. We all know that. It has been a huge part of her character's history. And since she is already taking medication for the condition, she thinks, why bother seeing a doctor? She thinks she knows her own body. But these aren't just normal headaches. These migraines seem bad, like really, really bad. And Nikki's reasoning for not going to the doctor is just so typical Nikki. She wants to ensure all her attention is on Nick. Nick is in trouble. Nick is dealing with his addiction issues and the Matt Clark hostage situation. So Nikki is just completely ignoring her own health to focus on her son. It is a very motherly thing to do, I guess, but it is also incredibly stupid. You cannot help your son if you are literally collapsing from a brain aneurysm or whatever is going on in there. Plus, Nikki has been under an immense amount of stress lately. She is secretly teaming up with Jack Abbott to launch a new attack on Victor, which is just a recipe for disaster. She is leaving her fingerprints all over Jack's plot, and Diane is furious, and Victor is busy gloating about Phyllis. The stress levels for Nikki are off the charts. So, of course, she is having migraines, but it could be an indicator of an illness far worse. What if her MS is progressing? That is a terrifying thought. Nikki has managed her MS for years, but it is a progressive disease. If it is getting worse, she needs to know. She needs to adjust her treatment. But she is just popping pills and rubbing her temples and pretending everything is fine. It is so frustrating to watch. You just want to reach through the screen and shake her. Victoria is becoming increasingly alarmed, and Victoria is not someone who panics easily. Victoria is usually the ice queen, the one who keeps it all together. So if Victoria is scared, we should all be scared. She sees what is happening to her mother. She sees the wincing, the pain, the exhaustion, and Victoria is already dealing with her own mess, trying to dig up dirt on Phyllis and dealing with the whole Sally Spectre of pregnancy secret fallout. The whole family is just stretched so thin right now. Regardless of what is actually causing these headaches, it is pretty obvious where this is heading. Nikki will likely collapse. It is a classic soap trope. You ignore the symptoms, you refuse the doctor, and then boom, you pass out in the middle of the GCAC dining room or right in Victor's office. She is going to end up in the hospital as she delays the doctor's visit and just makes matters worse. And when she does collapse, it is going to blow the whole family dynamic wide open. Victor's going to stop gloating and start roaring at the doctors. Nick is going to feel guilty because she was stressing over him. Victoria is going to say, I told you so, while crying by her bedside. It is going to be a huge, dramatic mess. And honestly, I am here for it. As tired as I am of the constant Newman drama, a good old-fashioned medical crisis always brings out the best acting in this cast. Melody Thomas Scott is going to act the house down if this turns into a major health storyline. So when you look at the whole picture for Thursday's show, it is just chaos. You have Victor sitting on his throne, thinking he is invincible because he crushed Phyllis. You have Phyllis in tears, begging Michael to save her from going to prison over a deal she made with Nick. You have Nick, who is supposed to be the good guy, acting like a mob boss with Phyllis while simultaneously getting tortured in Vegas. And then you have Nikki, a ticking time bomb of a medical emergency, just waiting to explode and ruin Victor's victory lap. It is so clunky, it is so messy, but it is also kind of glorious. The writers are just weaving all these massive, heavy plots together, and it feels like we are heading toward a huge collision. I mean, what happens if Nikki collapses right at the exact moment Phyllis decides to hand over the company? What if Victor is too distracted by Nikki in the hospital to actually finalize the hostile takeover? The possibilities are endless, and my brain is just spinning trying to keep up with it all. I don't know, you guys, I am honestly just exhausted from trying to analyze all these moving parts. Sometimes I think the show's usual style is just to overwhelm us until we stop asking logical questions. Like, I am still stuck on the fact that Victor used an AI program. I just can't get over it. But anyway, that is where we are at. The Newmans are winning, but they are also falling apart from the inside. Phyllis is losing, but she might just be dangerous enough to pull off one last miracle. And Nikki needs to get to a hospital like yesterday. What storyline are you most interested in seeing unfold on Thursday? Are you Team Victor or Team Phyllis? Do you think Nikki's headaches are just MS or something much worse? Share your thoughts in the comment section below, because I really need to know I am not the only one losing sleep over this fictional town. All right, I'm going to go grab some more coffee and try to edit this mess before I post it. See you guys tomorrow for more drama.